Deck 11 is one of the main decks on this ship. At the very front is the spa and fitness center. So if you want to get your exercise in, just come to Deck 11. There's all kinds of exercise equipment up here. Then at the front of the ship is the solarium, and that is an adults-only area. So the adults should have a quiet place to rest here in the solarium. Unfortunately, to get from the elevator to the main part of the deck, you have to go through the solarium. So even if you have kids, you'll sometimes see lots of kids walking through just to get to the main part of the deck. And you also have to go through this area to get to the front of the ship, which has the overlook to the bridge. Behind the solarium is the main pool deck. It actually has 2 swimming pools. And then it also has 2 child sections. So here are the 2 main swimming pools. There's 2 hot tubs here as well. here are the two child swimming sections. They're currently closed at the moment. This one is for the bigger children. And it has a fairly good sized slide. And then one for the babies, which has a very small slide. Then up above this area is the big screen. We watched a movie yesterday. They show different kinds of things at different times. This side of the pool deck is also the smoking area. So that entire section there is smoking. And then this entire section on this side is non-smoking. And then in the back of this pool area, you have the ice cream machine, which happens to be closed at the moment. Once we go inside, this is also where Giovanni's is. This is one of the paid restaurants, so we will not be eating there. We're just eating the free food today on this trip. But you got a little photo opportunity here if you want to sit on the scooter. This is also where the Windjammer is located, which is the main buffet. Deck 12 is also a very popular deck. This is where the game room is located, and behind the game room is where the kids' clubs are located. We think they purposely put it behind the game room so the kids will want to play games. If you walk all the way through the game room, then you'll find the kids' areas back here. We do have another overlook here, overlooking the promenade, with an interesting sculpture. On the port side, we go through these doors and we turn left. Here is where they can close off a section for the children to play. We call it the Adventure Ocean. And they have several things painted on the deck here, such as tic-tac-toe, hopscotch, checkers. Which gets us to the back of the ship. And here we're underneath the slides. Mini golf. This is the end of the mini golf. It actually starts the next floor up. And when you get to one of the holes, it actually comes down that little spiral thing there. And you finish that hole down here. Then you get Johnny Rockets. This is the walking and jogging track that goes up around the pool. So you can sit up here and overlook the ocean, or you can overlook the pool. And there is the sky bar. And above the sky bar is more seats for laying out in the sun. And this is overlooking the solarium, which is the adults only area. And on both sides, we have doors that take us back inside to all of the rooms that are now on deck 12. Then we're back to the very front of the ship, which has the spa. Deck 13. This is where the sports deck is. So we go through this door and down this hallway. It opens up into the sports deck. Directly in front of us is the basketball court, which right now is set up for pickleball. Over here, we have the mini golf course. So the golf course starts here and ends the next deck down. And above this, the next deck up, deck 14, is the rock wall. golf course. We come back around. And we see an overlook of the flowrider. So you can stand here and overlook the flowrider section. Or you can go down the deck and sit in one of the bleacher seats on either side. And over here you have the perfect storm which there are the slides. And you have to climb up and up and up and If we walk over here, we can see where the slides end. And on this other side, they have bags. And if we turn around, we can see the slides begin. You go all through here. And there's actually some barricades here on this deck to keep you from getting underneath the slides. To get up to deck 13 in the front, you have to go up the stairs. Now we're on deck 13 in the front. You can see there are lots of recliners up here for tanning. Actually, a really big area up here. It's a nice place to come and just overlook the front of the ship. Let's get up to the front. Here we are at the front of the ship. Today we happen to be docked at Labadee, Haiti. Like I said, lots of seating up here on deck 13 in the front. Deck 14 has the suite lounge. Here's the doors to that. Naturally, we can't go in there. And then it has the Blue Moon Bar. And the Blue Moon Bar overlooks the pool area. And headed up to deck 15 is the Skylight Chapel. We just finished up decks 11 through 15. So what was your favorite part about deck 11? Do you even remember what deck 11 was?
This is awful. Y'all, I'm making these videos and I spent so much time in the room with the babies. I did get to these decks, I promise you.
Deck 11 is the pool deck.
Pool deck. Now, okay, thank you. I really did like the pool deck. We played with the babies in the kids area, the splash pad area. We have the two little bitty ones. There was an area just for the little bitty kids, babies, and then there was an area for the bigger kids. And the pools were really nice. The way that they had those separated, I really liked that. There was a good amount of pool space on the pool deck, and I think that was really cool. I didn't personally get to take a dip, but it looked, I mean, I got in one time and halfway and it was a little chilly for me. And that could have been the weather that day.
The thing I liked about deck 11 was the pool deck. You can see the big screen from deck 11, and we actually went up and watched a movie. The thing I did not like about that was the pool deck, because it's so big and massive that you have to be careful where you sit or you're not going to be able to see the screen.
And it was on a port day, and we had gotten back early, and we wanted to watch the movie. And it was a movie we loved. I'm an 80s kid, you know, teenager. It was Back to the Future, the original one. I was kind of looking forward to seeing it again, but I can't sit in the sun. And in order to get a really good view of the screen, you would have to sit
You really
in
need
the
to
sun.
sit on the outer decks where you're be in the sun all day.
And so sitting in the shade, our view was blocked by the little kids' slides on the splash area on the pool. And I'm not knocking that those are there, because they worked out really well and they were great for the kids, but it was just kind of hard to get a place in the shade that we could get a good view that wasn't in the smoking area. I can't sit there, you know, for too long and be smoked upon. And that has nothing, I'm not saying anything bad about people that do. That's what I'm saying. I just didn't want to sit there and watch the movie. So that's kind of where that left us on viewing. I'm not saying we couldn't have walked around more and maybe found a better spot. But for that particular movie, we didn't.
Deck 11 also has the adults only section in the front. The one thing that I really
huge.
liked about it was
huge.
that in order to leave the front elevators and get to the pool area, you have to walk through the adults only section.
And we always had kids with us.
And so you're going to see kids walking through there quite
All the
often
time.
because
to
get from the elevator to the pool, you have to walk through that adults only section unless you walk all the way down to the back of the ship and use the back elevators instead.
And, you know, I was not there for very long on the adult, in the adult area. I took an hour away break one time for the kids, and I went there and just to sit in the adult area so I could get a feel for it. And lots of kids going through, and they weren't
loud.
They weren't loitering and trying to get in the hot tub or the pool or whatever. They were just walking through. I will say that this is probably one of the biggest adult-only areas I've seen on a ship, and it had a pool, it had hot tubs, it had the bar. It was nice. I really will say that. That was just, to me, maybe because the ship's the way it's built.
Just an odd arrangement.
It's just an odd arrangement with having the kids have to walk through. I mean, yes, you can go around it, but you have to, by that, you have to
Go up or down.
Necessarily, you had to plan to go around it. And we did.
And a lot of days we did plan.
We did, because we did not want
to
to disrupt.
through there.
It was just a couple of times there was just like, oh, crud. We're at the wrong elevator bank, but I wasn't going to move. I was going through, trying to get to the pool deck area, or something, and so that's what we did.
The buffet was also on deck 11,
Yes.
so if we left the room and went straight down to deck 11,
Yeah.
or actually straight up
Mostly
to
we
deck
did that
11,
for breakfast.
then we would walk
yeah.
across to the buffet, but we had to
Yeah.
go through the adult-only section to get there. So instead, what we typically did was we'd walk from the front of the ship to the back of the ship, then use that elevator to go to the buffet.
Unless we forgot, and I did, and it wasn't him. I was probably by myself or with one of the other adults that were with us. Buffet.
Food's in the...
Food's in it. Oh, edit this out, Edward. We're not talking about the buffet.
No, I'm not editing it up. Decks 12, 13, 14, especially in the back. You got to see it twice, I think.
I think twice. It was like the second or last full day we were on the ship, and I had said, I've not been on these decks yet. And, I went...
Where's the flowrider?
I hadn't seen the flowrider, the rock wall. I didn't know that there were bigger water slides on the ship. I didn't know there was a goofy golf. I want to explain why this is the case. We had 5 kids with us, and I'm grandma, and I invariably had to stay back in the room with the babies or one of the older kids. If they were, not. 2 of our kids went to kids club. One of our older kids with special needs, and we did not feel that we should send him to the kids club at this point. So we had 3 on a regular basis that sometimes needed watching, and I will admit I did a lot of that, and a lot of it was done in our room simply because they were napping at different times, and just anyway. I did not get to see as much of the other parts of the deck as others did. So, but I did get to go on a tour with Edward the last full day or the day before that. I don't know.
But we did get to see the flowrider, the slides, and the rock wall, and that's all stuff that is on the upper decks.
Yeah.
And so that's basically what you're going to find.
It was
on
cool.
each
It was
decks.
cool. I mean, if I was if I physically felt like I was in a position to do some of these things, do them, because they look absolutely fun. I would probably break something if I tried to flow ride, and if I tried to lift my body up the rock wall, that would not be good. The water slides beat the crap out of me. So I don't know. I wasn't good for none of that stuff.
But anyway, that's what you're going to find on each one of the decks on this ship.
And you know what? Go out there and try it. Have fun. That's all I can say. Is
I will add one more thing. Deck 15. This ship actually does still have a chapel. So it's one of the few ships still around that actually does have a chapel in it.
And it was pretty.
But if you really wanted a quiet area to sit, you could probably go up there and sit by yourself, because there's never hardly anybody
it was
there.
the Sky Chapel, and it was you kind of had to kind of go out of your way
to find
it. And you're gonna get to see it. And another area that I really loved. The last day my son took me when we were sailing out of away from Haiti, away from Labadee, and took me up to the bow of the ship, and where the helicopter pad is. And y'all, I'm gonna make sure that at least one of the pictures I took of the sunset from there, little clips at the end of whatever episode that is, because it was beautiful. It was beautiful. If we didn't have to go to dinner, I think I'd have stayed up there. Windy, yes, but the sunset was amazing, and being up there was just really a good place to go visit. So do that. Um,
Okay, so that's what we can find on each one of the decks on this ship.
okay.